Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Yoma. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. I've been looking forward to having this conversation with you, my darling. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, so today we're going to talking about one of the books, one of the nine books that I'm set to launch in a few days. And I asked Yoma, just like her other sisters at the Girls Hub, asked Yoma to pick one of the books that she loved. And which one did you pick again?
I picked a teen's guide to
The
academic
Child's Guide. The
excellence.
Child's Guide to which one?
Academic excellence.
Academic Excellence. Yoma, I need to know why you picked that book. Why? Why was that the one you picked? Because you picked it without thinking. Like this
Yeah.
one.
I don't know.
Oh.
Sometimes just like sometimes you don't realize how important your education can really be until you
Mm.
look at how people that don't have as good as an education as you, how far they are getting in life and how far that you can get in life compared to them.
And this is so true. I remember a few years ago when my children were going into the secondary school, I took them to a school in a village setting, one of those lungus. And I said, this is your only other option. You either stay here or this is where you stay. I mean, there's no in the middle. Because, like you said, a lot of times our children are privileged and they feel like, you know, I can do what I like. And I would hear of some children misbehave in a school and then their parents move them to another very good school and then move them. So they keep moving from one expensive school to the other without even acknowledging that this is a privilege, even though it's their right, as it were, every child has the right to education, but really it's a
Yeah.
privilege. So yeah, I'm glad we're able to pick that, and that's very smart of you. Hello everyone, I can see you. So today I'm with my queen daughter, Yoma. How old are you?
I'm 13.
Yoma is 13 years old and she is also in the girls' home. This is her second year in the girls' home. Yoma is very smart. So I'm not surprised why she's picking a child's guide to academic excellence. So I've sent you a piece of the book. Why do you think you love it? Why do you think it's a book that every child should read?
I think it's a really good book because there's a combination of a lesson and a story at the same time. So sometimes sometimes when you're just reading like a text, people can find it hard to like relate to it. But when you're reading a story and you can see the characters and you can feel like sometimes I can relate to this character or I can relate to this character, then can find it easier to and like find it more enjoyable to read.
I agree. And the reason why I usually write stories, whether about a fictional character or myself, is because that's how I love to read. I love to
Yeah.
connect with someone. I mean, I love to know that I'm not the only one going through this. I know that. Okay,
Yeah.
so Yoma, have you had any experiences in school, that had to do with your academics, either good or bad experiences? I would like to hear both though. So which one do you
Yeah.
want to start with, bad or good?
I'll start with I don't know, I'll start with the bad one first. When I was
Okay.
in primary school, I I did do like the best of my work, but the people around me weren't always doing the best of their work. And sometimes I would be sat with a person that wouldn't always be like thinking, oh, I want to be really good in this or I want to be really good in this. So I would like be sometimes you can feel like you're being pulled down into the bad path with them. So then but after and like when I had you have to do this exam to get into your secondary school. So when I was studying for this, a lot of other people weren't studying for it at all. So I would be like thinking, there's no one else I can relate to, no one else is going through
Mm,
my class, so there's no one I can really talk to. And when we did our exams, a lot of people were like really scared of the day. A lot of people were crying. And my mom was saying, look at these people didn't revise at all. So that's why they're scared and you're not. And thankfully I passed and I got into a really good school. But a lot of other people, they didn't get into schools, they didn't pass. So they're going to like schools that can't be as good as the school I'm getting into. So
Mm.
yeah, and it doesn't
I,
like
I
set
love
them up.
I love what you said about how you were doing your best, but the people
Yeah,
around you were not doing their best. And dear parents, if you're listening here, you need to understand that the environment, the people, the association that your child is in is going to determine how well she does as a student. You see this issue of um these are the class of people you are supposed to be friends with. You're looking at social status and stuff like that. It's not going to help them academically.
yeah,
Everyone should have friends that are enthusiastic about learning, because this is what happens. You're trying to read, then your friends go like, no, let's talk about that movie. And you go like, oh no, you don't have to do your homework. And then they go like, you're too serious. In university, Yoma, we used to call them is it Sabinus? You can imagine. We used to smart bully people that took their academics seriously. I was supposed to be the kind of person that is a front bencher. I've always
yeah,
loved academics, I've always wanted to learn. But when I got to university, my friends were like, how can you be sitting in the front? What is that? Are you the only one? That's how I found myself somewhere in the middle, because they were going to say back, and I said, no, no, no. So we came to a compromise, and I stayed at the middle. And the kind of
yeah,
university I went to, it's not the kind of university you have like 500 people in a class. Shouldn't you be in the first two rows? But no,
yeah,
my friends always wanted us to sit not too close to the lecturer. So I get it when you say that the people around you must also be doing their best. Like, all of you need to have that goal. Um, my daughter and her friends, that's how they take all the gifts in school. As they're calling one person, the next person is coming, the next person is coming. That's the only way. If not, they can degenus you. Okay, so can you so share the good experience?
Okay, so well, we had an RS exam coming up, so I was like trying to revise because I wanted to do RS for my GCSE. So I was like revising really hard, and then the day the teacher was passing out the test, I think she was trying to trick me, but she was like shaking her head when she was giving it to me. So I was like, "Oh no, have I done really bad?" And she gave me the test, and I got 97%. So I was really happy with the score.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
It felt like your hard work had paid off, right?
Yeah, it was
Okay,
a bit
so
annoying because I got one question wrong that I could have got right, and I could have got 100%, but that's just like improve
yeah,
next
I
time.
know. Okay, so tell me a few things that you have observed with children, especially, and the academics. What's their attitude when you see a regular child today, maybe in primary school or maybe somewhere in school, like not too old, not yet teenagers?
Yeah.
What do you observe? What's their posture towards the academics?
Honestly, it matters where you come from. Sometimes it also matters your culture as well. Because when I don't know, the school I used to go to, there wasn't a lot of people from my culture in the school. And the other people that weren't my culture, they didn't have such a serious attitude towards learning. Like they were more in school for friends and for having fun than to
Hmm.
actually learn.
Oh
And there
wow.
was a lot of people that I felt like were there to go and get a good education at all. But you can sometimes like even people can be from your same culture and still don't have the same like values you have towards education. And people can be
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, it doesn't matter that much. It's not going to affect my future. But it really does. Like education
Yeah.
is one of the things that you
No, it
can
does.
need.
It
Yeah.
does. It really does. Mm. I love what Yoma said. Who heard that when she said that some people she has observed are in school with the attitude of, I'm here for friends, I'm here for fun. Yeah, they are there. So let's check it. Some of our children don't even know why they are in school, and that is why I wrote this book. I needed them to take responsibility for their academic excellence. There is so much you can do. These children need to get it. Okay, Yoma, so let's talk about the two stories, or how many stories, or how many other stories do you want to talk about, that you read in the book? Let's talk
Yeah.
about briefly the lessons, and then we can call it a day.
Yeah. So there was about three stories. So the first story was about a girl that was just she wanted to go to school, but it was a snowy day, so she had to go to her friend's house. And then her friend was cooking something, so she saw a book on the table, and she just like, oh, let me just start reading this. It looks interesting. And the book was about Mary Curie, and it was about how she came from like a culture where people don't expect girls to go to school, or they don't expect girls to have a good education. She would watch her brothers go to school, and she'd have to stay at home. And she thought that I don't want to be just a person that I don't want to just stay at home and not do anything. So after her parents saw that she was serious, she decided that, okay, I'm going to start taking my education into my own hands. And
Mm-hmm.
one day she discovered like these science books in her attic, and she started getting so interested with it. And
Mm-hmm.
then after, she started like making new discoveries, and she discovered two new elements. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the elements made her really sick, but she continued to continue like making new stuff, and she
Mm-hmm.
finally discovered how to make the X-ray, and she won
Mm-hmm.
two Nobel prizes. And like the
That's
moral of the
it.
story is that
I
like
love
you never let
I love
people.
what you said about the fact that that interest sparked up when she stumbled on those books. Okay, so the
Yeah.
second one you were telling me behind the scene about homework. Just say a few things about homework. Why do you think that children are always not wanting to do their homework?
I don't know, because I feel like it's homework, so most people want to stay at home. They don't want to do homework, or they just want to be watching TV or
Mm-hmm.
playing games on their phone instead of doing the work that the school has set them. And that's why you need to like have like rules to yourself, like maybe on this day I won't watch any TV, or this day I won't
Yes.
use my phone as much so I can complete
Discipline.
my homework. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. A lot of discipline is required if you must take your academics seriously. You must become an excellent student. At the Girls' Hub, I drag, like I drag. You do not have any excuse not to be at the top. Like, seriously, what are you doing at the back? Influencers, people that are impact makers, people that are on their way to the global stage. They are at the front, never at the back, in all aspects of their life. So yes, discipline is key. And that's why I can just get up at a snap of my finger. I just call any of my girls and I'm like, you're doing this session with me. You don't need to prepare and plan for years. Just give you a few minutes and you're ready. That's why Yoma is here. I just informed her a few hours ago. And because you're preparing for life. And in preparing for life, you must be ready every day. That's why learning is a life skill. Thank you so much, Yoma. I know that your mom has ordered those books. What last words would you have for all the parents that are listening to us who are going to purchase the book, or who would be recommending the book to their children and their children's friends?
Yeah, you should make sure you read it, because it can really influence you to be a bigger, more positive person. And you can really like see that, there's stories, and you can relate to the people and think, well, I don't want to be this person. So I'm going to be a better person in myself. And now from now on, I'll start doing my homework. And from now on, I'll start laying disciplines for myself to
Mm-hmm.
get higher grades and everything.
Yeah. Thank you so much, my darling. Let me let you go. I hope everybody has picked one thing. I have also picked one thing, especially the point where Yoma raised about the people around her not doing their best academically and how it could affect anyone. Okay, so details of how to get the book is already on the screen. You still have the opportunity to pay 27,500 instead of 45K. You're saving a whooping 17,500 naira. I'm kind. Yes, I am. From the 1st of August, gone. Okay, someone says, I love the story. Thank you so much. There are so many stories in that book. Your children, my fear for these books is that these girls and boys will just read these books in 9 days, because I mean you just go on and on and on, and you cannot stop. They are beautiful books. Took a lot of effort, a lot of hard work, a lot of resilience, strength, everything, wisdom, grace to write them. I hope that you have every one, 9 of them. Thank you so much, Yoma. I love you so much. See you over the weekend. We have our Girls Hub training this weekend, and I'm looking forward to see you and all your other sisters. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you, and see you tomorrow. Bye, darling. Thank you for joining.